Hello, and welcome back. I know it's been a little while since I made a video, and I can just tell you're devastated. So, we're looking at our dissection materials in this video. So what are we going to be using? What are the tools for? We just have some basic ones. You can get more detailed when you have some things like scalpels and other materials, but we just have some basic ones. We're just doing some kind of light dissection, I guess, if you will. So, first materials are safety materials. You will need goggles. There's a preservative used in the type of organisms that we get that you don't want to get in your eyes or your mouth or anything like that. But first things first is goggles. We need safety. Second thing, there are a couple of types of trays that we use. We have these trays with the removable mat, which we'll get into when we look at how to clean and take care of these. But for these to be used, you just lay them in as you think you would, add your specimen to the tray, and continue with the dissection. There is another type of tray that you could end up with, and that is the wax tray. These are nice because they don't slip quite as much. It's easier to push the pins in. They're a little more sturdy if you are adding pins and trying to get things to stick in a certain way, a little bit more flexible in that regard. But there's some downsides, and we'll get to that when we talk about cleaning. So the main tools we're going to focus on, and really these are your best friend, are scissors. There's a couple versions, just depending on what's available the day that we dissect. There's this type, and you can see it's a very pointed tip. And then there's also ones that you might end up with that are rounded. And the purpose of the rounded ones, it'll be one sharp and one rounded. The purpose of the rounded is for when you're cutting, so you insert the rounded end into the organism. That way while you're cutting you don't snag an organ or accidentally cut through something. So that is the advantage of the sharp and rounded version. But really these are what you'll use the most. These are the best. Another tool you might use are forceps, tweezers. So these are nice for moving organs out of the way, picking something up, but really your fingers are the best forceps you have. So get your hands in there, but you do have those available. You'll have several sharp needle probes. These are also long pins, so they can kind of be used in multiple ways. You can use it to help hold down parts of the organism, skin, muscle, anything like that. You can use this as a probe, but you do have to be careful with the sharp end, A, because it's sharp, B, because you don't want to accidentally, again, tear through an organ or something that you wanted to save or not destroy. And that's where this nice probe comes in. This looks like a dentist tool, and really it's kind of the same thing. This is a kind of a non-sharp probe. I can't think of the better word for that off the top of my head right now, but it's just a dull at the end. So this way you can look through organs, move organs without damaging them. So this is just a nice tool for that. The last tool we'll use is this Ziploc bag, and use this for storage. So we want to be able to look at these for multiple days. So typically on day 1, students get their organism open, start looking around. Day 2 is labeling and explaining, and day 3 is kind of wrap up. So you'll save these in here. When you store your organism, you'll get a damp paper towel, wrap it around the organism, that way it doesn't dry out. Put it in the bag, and then we'll have some Sharpies to add your name to, so that way you can find it the next day. And these are the tools that we'll be using for our dissections. Make sure you add these to your lists and other things. Oh, forgot one, because I'm looking right at it. You're going to be using an iPad or your phone, whatever you'd like, to take a few pictures to add to our class data. So you'll be taking pictures of your organisms, and again, whoever maybe doesn't want to touch the organism in your group or can wait to, or goes last in touching, whoever has clean hands can touch their phone to take a few pictures. And I'd show you the iPad, but then you wouldn't see this video anymore, and that would just be terrible.